Hello everyone. So our topic for today is chapter number 4.3 World Heritage. And what do you mean by World Heritage? When do you declare a place as a World Heritage? It is basically a designation, okay? जो places earth पे वैसे है, which gives out outstanding universal value to humanity, okay, and which people think that this should be protected for future generation so that even they can appreciate and they can enjoy is called as world heritage. Okay, तो एक basically designation दिया रहता है. So a World Heritage Site is a site determined by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, that is UNESCO, to have significant cultural or natural importance to humanity. As such, the sites are protected and maintained by the International World Heritage Program, which is administered by UNESCO World Heritage Community. के इनका देखभाल या who looks after it, International World Heritage Program, okay, and even they are looked after, like even they unka work is monitored by UNESCO. Because World Heritage Sites are places that are significant culturally and naturally, they vary in type but include forests, lakes, monuments, buildings and cities, right? कि every country or every country which may have this place, it may vary, like किसी का natural beauty अच्छा होगा, किसी का appearance अच्छा होगा, but they do include forest, lakes, monuments, buildings and cities. World Heritage Sites can also be a combination of both cultural and natural areas. For example, Mount Hongshan in China is a site with significance to human culture because it played a role in historical Chinese art and literature. The mountain is also significant because of its physical landscape characteristics. Okay, that one such example is Mount Hongshan, as way you pronounce. So it is a place in China which is declared as World Heritage. So it is a combination of both cultural and natural. Why cultural? Because it is connected to people. It has a human cultural which brings people together, okay, and at the same time, since it is a mountain, so it has those natural beauty and physical landscape. So that is why you say it is a combination of both cultural and natural areas. Now let's talk about the second topic, which is history of World Heritage Sites. Although the idea of protecting cultural and natural heritage sites around the world began in the early 20th century, monument for its actual creation was not until the 1950. In 1954, Egypt started plans to build the Aswan High Dam to collect and control the water from the Nile River. The initial plan for the dam's construction would have flooded the valley containing the Abu Simbel temples and scores of ancient Egyptian artifacts. To protect the temples and artifacts, UNESCO launched an international campaign in 1959 that called for the dismantling and movements of temple to higher ground. The project cost an estimate $80 million, $40 million of which came from 50 different countries. Because of the project's success, UNESCO and the International Council on Monuments and Sites initiated a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage. So what are they trying to say? That this idea, this concept of protecting cultural and natural heritage, ये कब से start हो गया था? 20th century. But the working of this construction was not even, like the speed was not even gained till 1950. So there was this one case of 1954 Egypt में they wanted to build Aswan High Dam, but while building this there was this thing that the temple over there and some artifacts. What do you mean by artifacts? They are objects which are made by human being. तो वो basically क्या होने वाला था जब वो डैम बनाने वाले थे ना, so this temples and these artifacts was about to come into that area, मतलब वो भी वो पानी के साथ चला जाने वाला था. तो people like there was then UNESCO, they started a program wherein they can protect these temples and artifacts. And then in 1959 they collected like US dollar 80 million, out of which 40 million was from 50 different countries. Those 50 different countries, they helped UNESCO to protect those temples and artifacts, and that is why that project was a big success. Because of the project success, UNESCO and International Council on Monuments and Sites initiated a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage. And that is why फिर एक organization बनाया गया, एक council बनाया गया, that used to look after like that looks after protecting all of these cultural heritage. कि ऐसा कोई केस आया जहाँ पे आप monument बना रहे हो बट उसके अंदर अगर कोई टेम्पल्स या अदर कौन सा भी कोई मॉन्यूमेंट आ रहा है बीच में, तो उसका प्रोटेक्शन कैसे होना चाहिए. So yeah, let us continue with the second part. Shortly thereafter, in 1965, a White House conference in the United States called for a World Heritage Trust to protect historic cultural sites, but to also protect the world's significant natural and scenic beauty. Okay, so इसके लिए conference was held in United States. United States आप सभी को पता है, where every member of every country is is being presented, and thereafter discussions are made. So in that United States World Heritage Trust करके एक पूरा कॉन्फ्रेंस बनाया गया था, in which they discussed that we should protect historic cultural sites, के जो historic cultural sites है and all the scenic beauties or natural natural places, like places with significant natural beauty, all such places should be preserved. Finally, in 1968, the International Union for Conservation of Nature developed similar goals and presented them at United Nations Conference on Human Environment in Stockholm, Sweden in 1972. Following the presentation of these goals, the Convention concerning the protection of world culture and natural heritage was adopted by UNESCO General Conference on November 16, 1972. So again, after like almost 2 years, International Union for Conservation of Nature, जिसका ये काम है to protect all of these, even they come up with certain goals and ideas, and finally in 1972 it was adopted by UNESCO. Fine. The World Heritage Committee. Today, the World Heritage Committee is the main group responsible for establishing which sites will be listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay, so they does the work of establishing कि कौन सी sites would be included. The committee meets once a year and consists of representatives from 21 state parties that are elected for 6-year terms by the World Heritage Center General Assembly. The state parties are then responsible for identifying and nominating new sites within the territory to be considered for inclusion on World Heritage List. Okay, so अगर किसी को ऐसा doubt आता है that if there is a new place and if you feel like that place should be included in World Heritage List, so that is why these people who are elected in this committee, they make sure that they identify those places and then nominate new places which are invented, and then further on research is done, and then they select whether that place should be included in the list or not. Fine. Becoming a World Heritage site. There are 5 steps in becoming a World Heritage Site. The first of which is a country or state party to take an inventory of its significant cultural and natural list. Okay, that then you need to provide a detailed list of that particular place. This is called the tentative list. Okay, and it is important because nominations to the World Heritage List will not be considered unless the nominated site was first included on the tentative list. So what is the eligibility to first include that place in the World Heritage Site? It should be in a tentative list. For that you need to give a detailed information or detailed list about that place. Next, countries are then able to select sites from the tentative list to be included on a nomination file. The third step is a review of nomination file by two advisory bodies consisting of International Council of Monuments and Sites and the World Conservation Union, who then make recommendations to the World Heritage Committee. So what is the second step? Then that selected site should now include into a nomination file. So tentative list के बाद आता है nomination file, and then after nominating file there are two people, and ये लोग भी कहाँ पे included होते हैं? They are included in International Council of Monuments and Sites. So the one who have a great knowledge about it, then they make recommendations. What are recommendations? They suggest it. Okay. The World Heritage Committee meets once a year to review these recommendations and decide which sites will be added to the World Heritage list. The final step in becoming a World Heritage site is determining whether or not a nominated site meets at least one of 10 selected criteria. If the site meets this criteria, it can be inscribed on the World Heritage list. Okay, so there are certain 10 points which are included, and they meet once a year. Like all of these committee members, they meet once a year and they decide that whether that site which is being selected clarifies or meet all of those 10 demands. If they meet that 10 demands, then they think of it like including it into World Heritage site. Once a site goes through this process and is chosen, it remains the property of the country on whose territory it sites, but it also becomes considered within the international community. कि वो country का part तो रहेगा, but since now it has been included in World Heritage, it would also be considered as an international community. Types of World Heritage Sites. As of 2009, there are 890 World Heritage Sites that are located in 148 countries according to 2009. Okay, 148 countries था. 689 out of these sites are cultural and included places like Sydney's Opera House in Australia and the Historic Centre of Vienna in Australia. 176 are natural and features such as location as US, Yellowstones and Grand Canyon National Park. So you can see total there are 148, out of which 68 are cultural. Okay, usme there are example given like Sydney Opera House or Historic Centre. You can search them on Google and you can see that what are those features because of which they are included in heritage site. Out of that 176 are natural, जो हम लोग ने starting में देखा कि cultural, natural सब include होना चाहिए. So 176 are the natural ones, out of which one is Grand Canyon National Park, the another one is US Yellowstone. Now 25 of the World Heritage site are considered as mixed, जो हम लोग ने देखा. It should be a mixture of both natural and cultural. Peru's Machu Picchu is one of these, so you can search it on Google. Italy has the highest number of World Heritage sites with 44 of them. तो इटाली एक ऐसी है place जिसमें खुद में ही 44 heritage sites included है. India has 36, 28 are cultural, 7 is natural and 1 is mixed World Heritage site. The World Heritage Site Committee has divided the world's country into 5 geographical zones, which includes Africa, Arab states, Asia Pacific, including Australia and Oceania, Europe and North America, and Latin America and Caribbean. Okay, so World Heritage Committee ने कैसे पूरे world को divide किया into 5 geographical areas. एक part आ जाता है Africa. The another is Arab states. The third is Asia Pacific, Europe and North and Latin America. World Heritage Sites in danger. Like many natural and historical cultural sites around the world, many World Heritage Sites are in danger of being destroyed or lost due to war, poaching, natural disasters like earthquake, uncontrolled urbanization, heavy tourist traffic, and environmental factors like air pollution and acid rain. Right? To preserve is one thing. People have preserved it so that future generation can take advantage of it. But what happens that there is always a feeling of losing this property. Okay, that everyone feels that maybe because of a war or because of some natural calamity or because of urbanization, because see, urbanization is increasing, and at that particular one point of time we know that aisa nahi hona chahiye ki there is no land and then these lands are used, something like that. So always there is a always people are scared to lose such properties. World Heritage Sites that are in danger are inscribed on a separate list of World Heritage Sites in danger, which allows the World Heritage Committee to allocate resources from the World Heritage Fund to that site. Okay, तो इनका भी काम था to maintain this properties. So they are, they have this list which says World Heritage Sites which are in danger, and they have the sites, and then they provide certain funds so that that site should be preserved. In addition, different plans are put into place to protect, add, or restore the site. If, however, a site loses the characteristics which allowed for it to be originally included on the World Heritage list, the World Heritage Committee can choose to delete the site from the list. As I said, as we discussed earlier, there were certain 10 points which were mentioned, and agar wo 10 ke 10 match hote, then only that place can be considered as a World Heritage site. But if one of that characteristics is lost, then the World Heritage Committee, they have the right that they can delete that place from the World Heritage list. To learn more about World Heritage Site, visit the World Heritage Center website at whcunesco.org. Fine. So that is how we come towards the end of our chapter. So coming towards the workshop part on page number 162. Answer the following questions. What do heritage sites in the world include? Okay, so what do they include? हम लोग ने स्टार्टिंग में देखा दैट प्लेसेस विच हैव नेचुरल एंड कल्चरल क्वालिटी हम लोग ने देखा स्टार्टिंग में. सो ट्राई राइटिंग द आंसर. ओके, what kind of sites are protected and maintained by International World Heritage Program? वो भी हम लोग ने स्टार्टिंग में देखा that one which has cultural and natural properties. So try writing it down. It can be like, it's fine if you write in your own answer, but make sure that the content is similar to the chapter. How many heritage sites were there around the world? So 2009 के अकॉर्डिंग हम लोग ने देखा तो it was somewhere around 156, right? 148. So you can write it down. Okay, so try answering those questions. If you find any difficulties, then you can ask me. Complete the following: year, establishment and role. So 1954 में क्या बना था अकॉर्डिंग टू द चैप्टर में जो सारे ईयर्स इंक्लूडेड है उसमें क्या क्या इस्टेब्लिश हुआ था. स्टार्टिंग में इट वाज दे सेड दैट दे हैड कमिटीज़ एंड दे हैड ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस एंड उनका रोल क्या था. तो वही आपको कमिटीज़ जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है वो एंड उसका रोल लिखना है. Sub question 3, complete the following by giving reasons why World Heritage Sites are in danger. तो अभी हम लोग ने देखा it can be because of increase in urbanization, because one of the characteristics is lost, or because of pollution. So you can write it down. Choose the correct alternative and complete the given sentence. Mount Hengshan is situated in China. हम लोग ने देखा स्टार्टिंग में. The famous dam situated in Egypt on river Nile is, which was then Aswan High Dam. So the questions related to the context you can do. Match the pairs for the different roles के हर एक organization का या हर एक site का क्या role है. So again you can do it as homework. Look at the words and the meanings. Choose the correct alternative. एक word दिया है, 4 ऑप्शन दिए है and उसका मीनिंग कौन सा हो सकता है. अगेन you can do it. Find from the text minimum 8 words related to cultural heritage sites and make a word register. Arrange them in alphabetical order. Yeah, you can do it. Again, homework. Complete the following information from the text. Preservation of any historical site. What are the duties? Why? Reasons why you should preserve them. And promoting tourism. Okay, it's fine if you leave this in option, no problem. Write a report. 9, 10. It's writing skills basically. So we will do once we do grammar. Okay. So yeah, that was it. 9, 10, 10A, B रहने दो, अपन जब ग्रामर करेंगे तभी we will discuss it. Fine. So yeah, that was it for today's session. We'll see you all in the next one. Till then, bye bye and take care.